Good morning everyone and welcome to day 26, your final day of the alphabet challenge. Today is Z and we're doing Savasana, the pose that often people do fall asleep in, although it's meant to be exactly for the opposite of that. The aims of the posture is to reap the benefits of the practice and just become really present to where you're at afterwards. And I just want to say a massive thank you to the support for everyone towards me for doing this challenge. I've had so much fun doing it and I hope you've learnt a thing or two from it, as well as your friends. And yeah, I just wanted to say thank you and all the best with your yoga going forward. Perfect. So what we'll do is we'll come to the Savasana posture first, just to let you know if you're not already aware of what that is, and then we'll run through our full sequence and we'll finish there. So namaste from me to you. Alright. Let's come to the top of our mats and we'll inhale, palms come up, exhale, we fold over and we step back to our plank. From here we drop down to our knees, find our way onto our backs, so this might mean rolling out through the spine a wee bit here and then letting the feet come out in front of us. Toes fall out to your sides, your feet are about hip width apart and your kneecaps are just relaxing down. Your palms are facing towards the sky and you're relaxing your shoulders down to the mat. And we just want to feel really heavy into the mat and just start to notice your breathing here. And just relaxing. And that will be the end of our sequence after that. So then we'll come back up so we can start our sequence from the top. So we will start with A for sun salutation A. So inhale, palms come up and together. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, stepping back, coming down to our knees and finding our way down to our bellies. Inhale to halfway lift. Sorry, inhale to baby cobra. Exhale, hips come back and up to our downward dog. We might move around with the legs here or with the hips just to find a bit of gentle movement before finding a nice resting position here. Then looking forward, shifting your weight forward, stepping to the top of the mat to a forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift, exhale to fold. Inhale, spreading the palms, exhale down through centre. Inhale, repeat, palms come above, exhale to fold. Inhale to halfway lift, exhale, stepping back to our plank. Might stay here this time, shifting forward with your weight into your hands, elbows come to your side, down to your bellies. This time you might come up to full cobra. Exhale, hips come up and back, and we come to our downward dog. Finding a few breaths here. And we step forward to the top of the mat. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to spread the palms. Exhale down through centre. B now for sun salutation B. Inhale, arms come up and we sit back to our chair posture. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, we halfway lift. Exhale, we step back to our plank. Coming down to our bellies. Inhale to our cobra. Exhale to our downward dog. Inhale, right foot comes between your hands. Left foot pivots out to 45. Inhale up to warrior one, hey poppy. And exhale down to our flank. Coming down to our bellies. Inhale to our full cobra. Exhale to our downward dog. Inhale, left foot steps forward, right foot pivots. Inhale up, hips are forwards to warrior one. Exhale, we come down to our plank, find our vinyasa. Inhale up, exhale to our downward dog. we look forward and we step forward to our forward fold. Inhale up for halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. Exhale, palms to our side. Now we repeat sun salutation B. Inhale to chair. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, stepping back. Grounding down through our fingers while we're doing this. Coming down to our bellies. Inhale up cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Right foot steps between the hands and we pivot on our left foot. Palms come up and together. Inhale up. Exhale, palms come down through center, stepping back with our foot. Down to our bellies on the exhale. Inhale, upward. Facing cobra, full cobra here. Exhale, back to our down dog. And from here, just finding a position of stillness. And we're stepping both feet forward. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, palms come up and forward. Exhale, palms come down to our sides. And now we come to C, cat-cow posture. Inhale, palms come up. Exhale, down through center. Stepping back to our plank. Knees come down. Untucking the toes and tipping forward from the hips and looking up in front. Exhale, we round the spine. Belly button coming to spine. Tucking your tail under. And then doing 4 more in your own time. Sending the hands forward, tucking the toes under, step forward, maybe with your opposite foot, mix things up, forward fold, inhale, spreading the palms, exhale, down through center. D for downward dog, inhale, palms come up, exhale, we fold, and stepping back to our plank, up and over with the hips to our downward dog. Really focus on being active through your hands here, tipping up with your tailbone, belly buttons to spine. We're wrapping our triceps underneath. And as we're breathing nice and deeply, we're expanding through the side of the ribs and really feeling a nice side body stretch. Shifting our weight forward to our hands, forward fold, inhale, spread the palms, exhale down through center. E for extended child's pose. Inhale, the palms come up. Exhale, we fold. And we step forward. Step back to our plank. Knees come down to the ground. Toes come together and we spread the knees as wide as we can. Well, as wide as the mat. And we creep our hands forward as we become active through our fingers. Nice and active posture in the side body. Lengthening our chest down towards the ground and our forearms are hovering above the ground. Our hips are sitting back towards our heels and just taking some deep breaths here as we let gravity assist our hips down towards our heels. Knees come in. Toes tucked under, and we step forward to our forward fold. Inhale, we spread the arms. Exhale, down through center, and we come to F for forward fold. So as we inhale, we heel toe, those feet hip width apart. Exhale, we hinge from the hips down to our forward fold. Palms touch the mat, or we grab the opposite elbows with our hands here. Bend your knees as much as you need and really let your head hang. And then rolling up vertebrae by vertebrae all the way to the top, and we might bring our hands to our hips for a nice counter posture here. Then we bring our feet together. Now we come to G for garland posture. So inhale, our palms come above and our feet heel toe to the width of the mat with the toes facing outwards. Exhale and we sit down into a nice squat position here, right to the ground, coming up onto our toes if we need. Maybe closing down with the eyes and just noticing it all if you're resisting the posture, where your hips and really using the exhale to relax. Come to the ground to a nice wide-legged forward fold. Heel toe those feet inwards. Inhale to spread the palms. Exhale down through centre. Now we come to H for happy baby pose. Inhale, palms come up and above. Exhale, we fold. We step back to our plank. The knees come down to the ground and we find our way to our backs. From here, we might just roll forwards and backwards on the spine until we find a nice resting position, and we can feel our tailbone and our shoulders on the ground. Bringing the knees up and taking a hold of the outside of the ankles, feet or shins, wherever you can ensure that you're maintaining a nice lengthening through the spine here. You should feel a nice stretch through the inner thigh, and you might close down with the eyes just to bring your attention inwards a little bit. Opening up with the eyes and finding our way forward to our plank posture. Stepping forward to a nice forward fold. Inhale as we spread the arms. Exhale, coming down through centre. Now we're going to I for inhale. So I really just want you to find 5 deep breaths of your choice and technique and just bring your presence to the moment now. I like to practice the Ujjayi breathing, where you constrict your throat and have your mouth closed and you're breathing in and out through your nose. Nice and slow breaths. You kind of sound like you're growling. And then flutter open with the eyelids, and we'll come to J for Janu Savasana. So inhale, palms come up and forward. Exhale, we hinge from the hips and we fold and step back to our plank. The knees come down to the ground and we find our way into a nice high sitting position. Here we're nice and active through the quads and the toes are coming up towards your face, and you bring your left foot and sole of the foot meets your right inner thigh. Inhale up with the palms. Lengthen the upper body, exhale to hinge from the hips and fold. What we're focusing on is lengthening through the upper body here, so we're not sort of rounding down. Head should more be coming towards your shin rather than your knee or your thigh. So really lengthening here. And try and relax your shoulders down as well. And changing sides. Right sole of the foot comes to your left inner thigh. We inhale up, exhale to lengthen. Make sure you can feel both sit bones on the ground and toes are coming towards your head. And then from here we'll come into Dandasana, nice high sitting, cross your legs and find your way to your plank. Stepping forward to forward fold, inhale to spring the palms, exhale down through centre. We come to K for kneeling with toes tucked. Inhale, the palms come up and together. Exhale, we fold and we bring ourselves back to our plank again. The knees come down to the ground, we tuck our toes under and we find our way back to our hands on our thighs. Sitting back onto the heels. If that's too much for toe stretch for you at the moment, just bring your hips up and off your heels. And just breathing into this posture. Notice if you're holding on to your exhale at all and becoming more present to every breath. Or maybe just notice if your thoughts are wandering, if you're wondering when it'll be finished, etc., etc. Just bring your attention back to your breath and your belly moving up and down. And coming forward, the palms back to our plank, stepping forward to our forward fold. Inhale, palms spread, come overhead, exhale down through center. Now we come to L for locust pose. Inhale, palms come up. Exhale, we fold. We step back to our plank, down to our bellies, palms face the sky. Inhale to lengthen the back of the body in. Squeeze your buttocks, squeeze your knees together, squeeze your feet together, and exhale, lift. Balancing on your tailbone here. Hands reaching down towards your feet, actively bringing the shoulder blades down the spine. Shoulders away from your ears. And you're looking down towards the ground. And exhale down. Palms come beside your chest. We push up to our plank. Stepping forward to our forward fold. Inhale to spread the palms. Exhale down through center. Palms come forward. And we come to M for mountain pose. Here we want to be active into all of our toes. Our big toes are together and our heels are a centimetre or two apart. Activating through the toes, we should feel the nice space under our arch on the inside of our foot. Activating through your quads, lifting up your kneecaps, tucking your tailbone under and squeezing your glutes. And your belly button comes to your spine with your chest facing up and forwards. And most importantly, just breathing. Opening up with the eyes, we'll come to N for Savasana, boat pose. Inhale, palms come up. Exhale, we fold. We step back. Knees come down. We find our way on to a nice high sitting position. Knees are bent this time. We inhale to lengthen through your upper body and exhale as we come back to a 45-degree angle with your upper body, and we bring one foot up and the other foot to meet it so your shins are parallel to the ground. Knees are squeezing together and we're in a nice V position. Hands come beside your knees, or if you want more of a challenge, they can come overhead. Just ensure that we're still balancing on your tailbone and we're not tipping back onto your lower back here. That's normal to have a bit of a shake or a big shake here. Then coming down, back to our plank position. Stepping forwards, forward fold, inhale to spread the palms, exhale, palms come down through center. Now we come to O for one-legged king pigeon. Inhale, palms come up, exhale to fold, and step back to our plank. Hips come up and over to our downward dog. Right heel comes to the sky. Three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee comes to right hand, left foot comes to left hand, or if that's a bit much, just shift it back more towards your left hip. And we should feel a nice stretch through the glutes here. If you want, you can come down onto your elbows as a bit of an extra stretch through your glutes. Tuck the back toes under, lifting up with the right heel to the sky. Exhale down. Inhale, left leg comes to the sky, heel facing the sky. bringing it through. Knee comes to left hand, foot to right hand. Active through our back foot here, and just breathing into the stretch. Nice opening for the back of the glutes. Tuck your right toes under, sending your foot up and back, finding our downward dog again before shifting forward to our plank, stepping forwards, forwards fold, consciously spreading the palms, maybe a little bit slower this time, all the way up to overhead and coming down through centre on your exhale. Now we come to P for plank pose. Inhale, palms come up, looking up at your palms. Exhale, we fold. We step back to our plank. Today we're going to focus on really becoming active with all of your fingers so we don't put too much pressure on the wrists. It's really important that we become active through our palms. Pushing away, activating your shoulders, belly button to spine, quads on, glutes on, and we're pushing our heels to the back of the room. If it's too much at all, just come down onto your knees, keeping your hips in line, the diagonal line from your knees to your shoulders. And then we'll step through, forward fold, inhale, spreading the palms, exhale, coming down through centre. Q for quad stretch. Inhale up, exhale, fold. Stepping back with the right leg, knee comes down, we inhale up first to a nice low lunge. Then if you like a bit more of a challenge today, or if it's there for you, right foot comes up and meets the right hand, bending in towards your glutes. Try and keep your hips and shoulders facing forwards. You can have a cushion underneath your knee if you like, if that's a bit too sore on that contact point. And switching legs, right foot comes forward. The grounding foot and back knee are about shoulder width apart rather than being on a tight rope. And we're ensuring our belly button's coming towards our spine and tucking our tailbone under to decrease the pressure in our lower back. Gently lowering that back foot, hands come down, stepping back to our plank first, and then stepping to the front of the mat, forward fold, inhale, spreading the palms, exhale down through centre. R for reclined butterfly, inhale, palms come up, exhale, we fold, and we step back to our plank. Knees come down, we find our way onto our backs. From here, you again might do a wee roll and find your place of stillness. Your soles of your feet come together and your knees fall out. Palms come towards the sky, opening up, and we're relaxing our shoulders down to the ground. Make sure you've got contact with the skin of your lower back to the ground. If not, just lift your knees up a little bit higher or bring your feet further away from your groin. And bringing the knees in together, hands come forward, we come back to our plank as usual. We step forward to our forward fold, inhale to spread the palms up, and exhale down through centre. And we come to S for side plank. So as usual, palms come up and above, down through centre to our forward fold, step back to our full plank. Shifting our weight onto our right side, pushing that right hand into the ground, peeling the left arm up to the sky, and imagine someone's pulling your arm as high as you can upwards. Hips should also be lifting, and we haven't got too much weight in the right wrist. Our fingers are nice and active, then looking up at your top palm. If that's too much, just bend your right knee, and you'll still be getting a nice activation through your right shoulder. And gently transitioning to the left side, Right foot stacks on left foot, pushing down into the left hand. Right arm peels up to the sky and looking up there. Again, lowering the knee if you need. Quads are still on, glutes are on, belly button's just fine. Transitioning back to plank now, stepping forwards to our forward fold. Inhale, spread the palms, exhale down through centre, and we've arrived at T for tree pose. So grounding down through the right foot, spreading all the toes and gripping them into the ground like fingers. Left sole of the foot comes to your right calf or to your inside of your thigh. Toes are facing down towards the ground. Hips open facing forward. Left knee is facing directly to the side of the mat and our palms are together at our chest. And we're smiling. Knee comes forward to exit the posture and repeat on the other side. So grounding down through the left foot, making sure we can feel a nice gap with the medial arches of the left foot, and then we just imagine the bubbles there and we don't want to pop it. Right sole of the foot comes to our left calf or up into our left inner thigh. From here, actively pushing with the right sole of the foot into the left inner thigh as our quads are on and our left thigh. Knee comes forward, all the way down. If you do fall, just try again, nice and slowly. Yoga is a practice after all. Cool, and now we come to U for upward facing dog. So inhale, palms come up. Exhale, we fold over, we come to our plank. Slowly coming down, we might come to our half press up to our chaturanga as we push up to our upward dog, where our hips are hovering off the ground and so are our knees. If you have any lower back issues, I wouldn't recommend this one, but this is something that you can insert as part of your sun salutations instead of fully coming down onto your belly. But again, any lower back pain, just avoid this one as it's a bit more pressure. You should be squeezing through your glutes and your quads as well to support your lower back. Coming back to your plank, stepping to the front of the mat to forward fold. Maybe rocking round side to side here. There's a bit of a counter posture to the upward dog. And then inhale, spreading the palms. Exhale down through centre. V for Vibhrajasana 2, Warrior 2, a really common yoga posture. So I want you to step your left foot back, facing 45 degrees to the front, right foot's facing forward, and we're squeezing through our left buttock to open up this hip to the side of the mat. Open up your left hip to the side of the mat. Arms come out parallel to the ground. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale as we drop with this right knee into above our right foot here. We should be able to see our right second and third toe, and we should be squeezing through this left buttock to open up through the left hip. And what we'll be doing is an ongoing sort of adjustment here, and this will just become easier with practice. And you're looking forward over the top of your third fingernail. And then we'll pivot. Right foot pivots all the way around to 45 degrees towards the back of the mat, and left foot is facing the back of the mat. Squeezing the right buttock, sitting down into that front leg to become 90 degrees. And pivoting all the way back to the front, palms together and down. Now we come to W for Warrior 3. So we'll step back with our right foot, bending our right knee along with our left. From here, palms come to chest. We'll shift our weight forward into our left leg, come up onto our toes of our right, lifting your heel up of the right leg to parallel with the ground. From here, when you find your balance, arms come overhead and we, as an upper body and lower body, come parallel to the ground. The grounded leg is nearly straight but not quite locked out because we don't want to put extra pressure on our knee joint here. Normal to shake, and if you fall, just re-enter the posture nice and slowly from the start. Palms come in, back to our crescent lunge, and changing legs. So left leg comes back now, nice gentle bend in the back, shifting our weight forward onto our front right foot. As we lift the left foot above the ground, we lift from the heel, toes are coming down towards the ground, hips are facing the ground, and we bring our arms overhead so that we become as parallel to the ground as possible. And just remembering to breathe. It's easy to hold your breath sometimes when you're trying to balance. All the more reason to train your focus to keep conscious of your breathing. Palms come into chest, come back to our crescent lunge, stepping forward, arms by your side. Now we come to X for exhale. So we're going to do this lying down. So inhale, palms come up. Exhale, we fold. And we step back to our plank. Knees come down. And we come all the way onto our backs. From here, maybe you just take an exhale when you get here for a bit of a rest. And then we pop our right hand on the top of our belly and our left hand on our chest. And I just want you to bring a bit of awareness first as where your breath is going. Is it going into your chest? Or is it going in, down, all the way down into your belly? And ideally what we're looking for here is belly breathing. Get more air in rather than shallow breathing through the chest, which isn't as efficient. And after noticing which hand seems to be rising more, I want you to then try and bring your awareness to doing nice deep belly breaths. So in through the nose and down all the way to the belly. So relaxing your chest and shoulders. Bringing your awareness to your exhale, just letting everything out, whether that's through the mouth or through the nose. You might even do a sigh. And then if you've closed the eyes, opening up with the eyes, sitting up, crossing the legs and coming back to your plank. We'll step forward, maybe with the opposite foot than usual, to our forward fold. Inhale to spread the palms up and together. Exhale down through center. Now we come to Y for a seated yoga twist. Inhale, palms up. Exhale to fold and stepping back to our plank. Knees come down and we come to a nice sitting position, Dandasana. Peeling the buttocks away from the floor so we can feel our sit bones grounding down into the ground. From here, left knee will come in towards the chest. Left foot is in line with the right knee on the same side still. Inhale up with the palms together. Exhale as we twist towards our bent leg and our right arm comes over our left leg, so the elbow's on the outside of the left leg. So we twist towards the bent leg. Every inhale, I want you to think lengthen and grounding down through the sit bones, making sure the contact's equal with them, and exhale, twist. You can bring the arm up here as well. And coming back to Dandasana, resetting, making sure you're grounding down through your sit bones, nice and upright with the upper body. Right foot comes in, arms lengthen as we lengthen through the upper body. Inhale, exhale to twist, left elbow comes to the outside of the right knee. We're still active through our left leg, grounding down to the ground. And we can bring our left elbow into a nice bend as if we're waving to someone on the side that we're facing. This can just help facilitate the twist. You might readjust your hand to wherever's comfortable. Your right hand, it's resting around behind you. You just want it to be in a position that you can relax your shoulder, but ensure you're staying upright with the upper body. And coming back to Dandasana, crossing your legs, back to our plank position. As usual, stepping forward to our forward fold. Inhaling up for the last time. Exhaling down through centre. Now we come to Z, the last letter of the challenge, today's letter for Savasana, because going to sleep, even though you're not meant to go to sleep in this posture. So inhale, palms come up and together. Exhale, we fold. We step back to our plank. Knees come down to the ground and we find our way onto our backs for our final posture to end the class and sequence. Once we arrive on our backs, we just want to notice that our palms are facing the sky and our toes are facing outwards. And what you'd want to do is just start with a wee body scan to ensure you're relaxing all the way through the body. So I'd start from the feet, just feeling the heaviness into the ground and all of your contact points in the body. You might notice the kneecaps relaxing, the quad muscles feeling heavy. You can feel your lower back on the ground, opening up through the front of your hips, noticing the rise and fall of your belly, the space at the front of your chest, your shoulders relaxing down into the ground. You might notice where your triceps are touching the ground and your elbows. The top of your forearms facing upwards towards the sky. And just take notice of your fingers, what position you're resting in. And just relaxing down. Notice if your thoughts wander and just trying to bring yourself back to the breath. Putting a smile on the face as you relax the head down into the mat. And then resting in Savasana for as long as you need. I'd probably recommend at least a few minutes here after you do your body scan, just in silence and noticing your breath. So just pause the video here to stay in your Savasana. I'm going to come back to a nice seated position. And again, I just wanted to thank everyone for joining me for the Yoga Alphabet Challenge, and namaste.